Ranger Stadium, home to the Smithson Valley Rangers, and we get ready for the first round of the 5A Division I playoffs. Alongside Brian Hill, I'm Joey Gonzalez, and Brian, this is Smithson Valley team who begins the road to return to the state championship game.
Yeah, it all starts now. It's playoff season when the weather starts getting a little bit cooler and come out for warm-ups, and it's already dark, and so it's playoff time, and Rangers facing a good test with South San, another 8-2 ball club, and it's going to be playoff football in the state of Texas. Can't beat it.
It's a South San team who is above 5 wins for the first time since 2005. Meanwhile, for Smithson Valley, they're a team who's been used to successful seasons here in the 21st century. What does Smithson Valley need to do to walk home with a victory here in today's game?
Well, I think defensively, South San, they like to run the football. They like to run gap schemes, power, and counter. And I think it's important for the Smithson Valley defense to stop that. And if they can, it's going to be tough for South San offensively. And then on the flip side, Smithson Valley offensively, they need to run the football as well. Their passing game is set up by the run. And so when they're running the ball effectively, their offense is hitting on all cylinders. And as always, what you expect from Smithson Valley, play really good in the special teams.
Well, we get ready to go here at Ranger Stadium. It'll be South San who will kick off to begin the ball game. South San will be kicking from right to left to begin the game. Back to kick, it'll be number 19, Octavio Castillo, the sophomore kicker. Playoff football on a Friday night. Smithson Valley will begin the road to the state playoffs momentarily. Everybody is set and ready to go. South San, Smithson Valley, round one of the UIL playoffs, and it begins right now. It's a short kick around the 30-yard line. Smithson Valley will return. They'll take it out to around the 38 before eventually being taken down where the Rangers will get ready to set up shop.
Yeah, great job of game planning and scouting. It's not very often you see your deep returners lining up on about the 20-yard line. They knew that South San likes to kick it short. Had a plan for it, fielded it, and even though, it didn't look like much, fielding it and then moving forward, getting the ball almost out to the 40-yard line. Excellent field position for the offense to start their first drive.
So get ready to see the quarterback, Cade Spradling, take the field. The 6'2", 190-pound senior will get behind the center and get ready for the first snap of the ball game. Smithson Valley lines up at the 40-yard line. Man in motion, PK Miller, and here's the handoff getting him past the 50-yard line, and just like that, first play of the ball game, and Smithson Valley is in South San territory.
Yeah, reverse first play of the game, first play of playoffs. Smithson Valley going for explosive plays. They always like to mix at least one or two in the first 10 play script, whether that's a deep shot down the field or a kind of a wrinkle-type reverse play, and you saw that on the first drive, and a good explosive play to start the game, and Smithson Valley's already in plus territory.
Smithson Valley team with 3,635 yards of total offense in 2024. They'll take the snap, and it'll be a QB run. Spradling picking up 5. He's thinking more. It's another first down, back-to-back plays, and 2 first downs to begin this ball game.
Yeah, and a touchdown-saving tackle from their safety, Antonio Ramos, number 24. The quarterback run is a big part of Smithson Valley's offense. You can spread out by formation, and you add a blocker with the running back lead blocking for you when your quarterback can run. That time they had favorable numbers in the box and got it all the way down to the safety, but 2 plays, 2 first downs for the Ranger offense.
Spradling, 6.36 yards per carry so far here in 2024. 2 plays, 2 rushes, and 2 first downs. The Rangers have the ball at the 22-yard line. They'll take the snap. Spradling looking to his left side. He'll dump it out, and it will sail over the head of his receiver, so it'll be second down and 10.
Yeah, it was pretty good coverage on the back end by South San. Looked like we tried to motion somebody out of the backfield, draw the secondary to roll to the trip side and throw a backside skinny post today, but the safety stayed home. Spradling does a good job of working through his progressions and then just kind of gets rid of it. Don't have a negative play inside when you're getting close to the red zone.
So first incompletion of the ball game for Spradling, who threw for 978 yards during the regular season. And now I have a handoff to the left side, gets to the corner, and finding the end zone, touchdown, Smithson Valley.
Yeah, great job blocking up front by the offensive line on the outside zone stretch play. Got the edge sealed, but really what helped seal the ultimate outside edge was PK Miller as wide receiver spot. motions in to make sure that he can get a hat on the outside box player, pins him inside. The nested corner misfits it, and then if you let Sowersby get the edge, he's going to beat you with speed.
Brad Sowersby, 9 touchdowns during the regular season, marking it 10, including the postseason, and now the extra point on the way, and it is right up the middle and good. So 1 drive and 1 touchdown for Smithson Valley, and they lead over South San 7-0. You're watching playoff football right here on the Ranger Network.
So I started taking robotics and STEM classes when I was in the 4th grade, along with GT classes. And as I got further into high school, I not only pursued GT, but engineering, robotics, all these STEM pathways that really, strengthened who I am. So I either consider pursuing teaching or STEM, specifically biomedical engineering. And along with robotics class, I also do engineering. And I think it'll really benefit my future regardless of which path I decide to take.
Welcome back to Ranger Stadium, and Brian, what a great opening drive. Less than 5 plays for the Rangers to find the end zone.
Yeah, starts with the run game. We talked about it before the game. What does Smithson Valley need to do to pull out a victory? Stop the run on defense and be able to run the football effectively on offense. 3 of their 4 plays were runs, and on all 3 of them were big explosive plays by 10, 15 yards plus, and just what the doctor ordered, first drive of the playoffs, go down and score.
We'll get ready to see the South San offense for the first time in this ball game, breaking a couple of tackles before eventually being taken down at the 13, where South San will get ready to set up shop.
Yeah, it was one of the few teams we've seen this year actually return it, not just fair catch it, and great coverage by the Rangers, about 4 or 5 guys there. Actually a pretty good job by the returner, number 1, Noah Mendez, to kind of break through that first wave, but Camacho fit it well coming downhill and lays a pop on him. Almost jarred that ball loose, but anytime you can kick it off and pin the opponent inside the 15-yard line, your coverage team's doing its job.
So now we'll get ready to see the quarterback number 2, Elijah Pardo, get ready to take the field for the first time in this ball game for the South San Bobcat offense. The return took it out to the 13-yard line, where the Bobcats will get ready to set up shop. 2 receivers right. Now a man in motion for the Bobcats. And the snap was going to be handed off, and it's about a 1-yard gain, if that.
Yeah, we talked about they love running gap schemes. They love running power, and they love running and pulling both guys and running counter. And that time they lined up in a 2-by-2 set, thinking Rangers will say, okay, well, they're not going to be run those favorite plays because there's not a fullback in the backfield. Motion the fullback back into the formation, went ahead and ran it, and the Rangers were ready for it for a short gain on first down.
Smithson Valley defense staying tall in the first play of the ball game. We'll see what South San elects to do once again.
Here comes the fullback.
Yeah, once again, 2 to the left and 2 to the right. Man in motion, number 32, Jared Trevino. And now the handoff once again, a 1-yard gain, Brian, if that.
There it is. Again, we talked about it. They like running counter, and they like running power. First 2 plays of the game's counter. Second play is power. Rangers are ready for it. Great job by the defensive ends, getting underneath and spilling it, making it bounce outside, not letting it hit right downhill. And anytime you can get the back going laterally and your backers can gap exchange and get there on the edge, it's going to be good. And so now this is exactly what the Ranger defense and the defensive line loves, is passing situations to let Woods and those guys tee off.
A long 3rd down and 8 coming up from their own 15-yard line. Setting up in the backfield, number 22, Alex Trevino, alongside his quarterback, Elijah Pardo. A roll out to his right side, airs it out, and it's intercepted.
Oh, gosh. White hat. They're going to call roughing the passer.
The flag was thrown immediately after there was contact with the quarterback, Elijah Pardo. So on what should have been the first turnover of the ball game, will keep the Bobcats on possession.
Yeah, obviously this is the Ranger Network. I'm a little biased, but I don't agree. I don't agree with that call. I was watching it the whole way. Woods leaves his feet to jump to try to bat the ball down, comes down and kind of pushes him to the ground. It wasn't late and it wasn't a shot to the head. And Whitehat took a little while throwing that. It was almost like he saw that it was an interception and threw it down. But nonetheless, what could have been a big turnover there, and Ranger offense getting it inside the red zone is a fresh set of downs for South San.
A minute 30 into the ball game, and Smithson Valley nearly had the ball in plus territory. Instead, it sets up shop at the 30, and a handoff is immediately blown up behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, there's Souza. Interior D lineman 3 technique. They ran a gap scheme again. The center's got a block back on the 3, and that time Souza just shot the gap. Center didn't even get a hand on him. Blew it up in the backfield. Now there is a penalty flag. Not sure what it is there, but what a play by Sosa.
And the flag right at the line of scrimmage. Oh, wait, what the call is right here. So they go against South San, and they'll walk it back 5 yards. So they'll set up 1st and 15.
Well, it looks like the Ranger coaches are saying, no, we want to decline that. It was a loss of 2 or 3 on the play, so we'd rather have 2nd and 12 than 1st and 15. So now they're moving the ball back. Oh, they must have given them forward progress. I thought that was a loss of 2 or 3 there. They're moving it back. There it is. Okay, 2nd and 12.
And never will appear that the running back Trevino ever made it back to the line of scrimmage. As Brian mentioned, a loss of 2 on the play. So to set up about a 2nd and 12 once again, the fullback in motion. Jared Trevino, and now a handoff, and it's going to be the largest run of the ball game for the Bobcats, a 3-yard pickup.
There's some physicality going on right now. That was a pretty tough run by their running back Trevino, but there's about 4 Rangers that came flying in there, and there's some hitting going on by the Ranger defense. They're flying around right now.
Yeah, I think if South San wants to make this a competitive ball game, they're going to have to play that ground and pound offense to pick up these first downs.
Yeah, and Smithson Valley knows that. I mean, they know that that South San's, their formula to winning is running the football, going on long drives, playing good defense, and just trying to be competitive going into the 4th quarter. And so far, the Rangers' run defense has been outstanding.
3rd down and 9, and it'll be a little pitch play to the outside, trying to bounce around some tackles. And once again, another late flag is thrown as Trevino with the handoff.
Yeah, it looks like another penalty. I think it's going to be a hold on South San. They were holding the defensive end Barrow there, but I bet you the Rangers are going to go ahead and decline it and make it 4th and 6.
So Smithson Valley will elect to decline. They'll set up about 4th and 6, and now we'll get to see the punting unit come out for the first time in this ball game for the Bobcats.
Yeah, and with both those returners back there with Davila and PK, they do such a great job of, if nothing else, field the ball to where it's not rolling out. I wouldn't be surprised to see if it's a decent kick, us getting the ball past midfield with how dangerous those returners are.
So 4th and 6 from their own 34. And the boot is into the air. It's a fairly line-drive punt. It'll be scooped up around the 35-yard line. It'll be returned all the way past the 50-yard line. There is a flag thrown. It was P.K. Miller on the return.
Man, this crew will throw some flags now. We got another flag down right at the end of the play, and usually when that happens, it's on the returning team, whether it be a hold or block in the back or something. So, I think we've already had about 5 flags thrown. Some of them have been declined, not enforced, but a lot of laundry on the field thus far. But nonetheless, great stop by the Ranger defense after gifting a free first down on their penalty. And so Smithson Valley's offense will come back out and still with good, even with that penalty, good field position past the 40-yard line.
Yeah, we'll take it at the 43-yard line. So once again, we'll get to see Spradling march back out onto the field. 13 touchdown passes during the regular season with 2 interceptions. Spradling from the shotgun, a man in motion for the Rangers. That'll be play action. He'll like to go with it himself, and he's past the 50-yard line. He's over to the 30, and a break pass and a tackle and a big run for Spradling. He gets it all the way near the 20-yard line.
And that was a play we saw him run a few times this year, but particularly last week versus Victoria East. It's kind of a naked bootleg with off the counter look, and the fullback takes a couple steps like he's pulling on counter, and then he reverses out, and Carvajal gets out in front. It's essentially reverse blocking, but just with a quarterback bootleg. Anytime you can get Spradling in space, he's dangerous. So another explosive play in the running game for the Ranger offense.
His longest rushing play of the season, 39 yards. And now it'll be a handoff on the way to the outside, running past the 10, and another Ranger first down.
Yeah, that outside zone, against a 4-down team, if you can reach the outside shade or the outside 5 technique, then you're going to have success all night. And our tackles so far in the 2 stretch plays that we've run have done a great job. You see the replay there, good job by Baker of letting go once you're in space and not getting a holding call out there. But once again, another rush, another first down by the Ranger offense inside the 10-yard line.
There's another really solid run by Brad Sowersby, who once again able to find the outside edge. And now with goal to go, it'll be another play action. Passing to the end zone and touchdown, Smithson Valley.
Yeah, they came up quick. Didn't give time for South San to really set their defense up, lock in on their keys. They run a naked bootleg. South San actually does a pretty good job of covering the initial. You see in the flats there, Baker's covered, but a good job by Spradling coming off his first read, hitting the drag route by Howe coming across the end zone, and a perfect ball and 2 great series by the Rangers offense to start it out.
2 for 2 for Smithson Valley, and looking to make it 14-0 after the extra point right here. The kick on the way, and it clears the uprights perfectly. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns for Smithson Valley, and they lead 14-0 over the South San Bobcats here in round 1 of the UIL playoffs. You're watching playoff football right here on the Ranger Network. Welcome back to the Ranger Network. Alongside Brian Hill, I'm Joey Gonzalez, and Smithson Valley has jumped out to an early 14-0 lead with 6:45 to go here in quarter number 1, and this ball's going to roll all the way in the end zone. That ball's muffed in. That one's going to be a tackle in the end zone.
They're going to call it a touchback. Then why didn't they blow the whistle?
Interesting sequence there. The South San return man, it appeared that it went off of his arms, and you see the look on the replay of the 2. He realized he touched it, he had to go pick it up. But Brian, as you mentioned, they're going to call a touchback, and they're going to place the ball at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, I think looking at the replay, look at it again here. Depends on. Oh, it's because he signaled fair catch. Because he signaled fair catch when he regains possession of the ball, it's a dead ball right there. If he hadn't signaled fair catch, that would have been a live ball. And since it touched him not in the end zone, he went back in the end zone, that would have been a safety. But I think because he signaled fair catch, once he regains possession of it, it should be a touchback.
It's already the second time South San kind of been bailed out. We saw the interception on the opening drive, a roughing the passer call, and then right there, the touchback. So South San on what could have been some dangerous plays already. Got to be thankful it's just a 14-point ball game this early in the game.
Yeah, for sure. And the refs are talking about it, and I think they're just confirming. They're coming over to explain it to Coach Hill right now. But he said, I think because of the fair catch signal, I think that's the right call.
So South San looking to get their footing early in this ball game. Coach Hill will get the long explanation here from the officials. South San offense on the field for their second drive of the ball game. So after the explanation is given on the Smithson Valley sideline, and we'll get to see the offense get ready to go once again. It's Elijah Pardo from the shotgun. Once again, another man in motion is Jerry Trevino. South San's been very run heavy to begin the ball game, and right there is no opening. I don't think there was any yard on that play.
Yeah, it's just a great job by our interior D-line and our defensive ends. Again, it's the counter play. Smith Valley's repped it all week. They know it's coming. And South San for all year it doesn't matter if the other team knows. This is our identity. This is what we're going to do. But so far the Ranger defensive end squeezing, and then our interior D-line with Roberts and Sosa getting penetration and not letting them hit it downhill. So often the power play and the counter play is productive when the kick-out blocks happen and you can hit it straight downhill, and they're making them go side to side right now, and the Ranger defense is looking good.
Talk about the 2 tackles coming in, and both at 6'2", so on a 2nd and 10, once again another man in motion for South San. It'll be a pitch play, trying to run it up the middle once again, and maybe a gain of a yard, if that, for the Bobcats.
Yeah, brought a little pressure off the edge with the outside linebacker Hornsby, so the D-line pinches in and forced the running back to cut back. It was a toss play designed to go outside, but he saw the blitzer coming off the edge, forced him to cut back, and once again the backside pursuit is awesome by the Rangers. And again, another passing situation, 3rd and 9, and the last time they attempted to drop back and pass on 3rd and long, it was an interception. They ended up getting a penalty, but Ranger defense loves 3rd and long. Third down of the ball game for South San, and they've all been longer than 8 yards, and now they're looking to air it out deep down the field, and it's going to be caught in Ranger territory. They'll get the ball at the 45-yard line. Yeah, they ran a double move, kind of a hook and go, and corner bit down on it and was going to be right there to either intercept or break up the pass on the hook route. Good play call and a really good throw by the quarterback and a good catch by the receiver. But yeah, got him on a double move for by far South San's most explosive play they've had thus far.
It's been a South San team who's only been able to pick up 3 yards at the biggest prior to that play, so now they find themselves in Ranger territory, and the handoff on the way. It's a 2-yard gain for the carrier, number 22, Alex Trevino.
And right back to their bread and butter, and once again the Ranger defense is up to the task, and South San, they're going to have to hit a few of those. Smithson Valley is going to stop the run. They're going to commit numbers to the box, and at some point you're going to have to win some of those one-on-one matchups that they just did, and so wouldn't be surprised if they maybe take some of those shots earlier instead of having to do it on 3rd and long. Maybe mix in a 1st down pass or a 2nd and short or something like that to keep the defense off balance.
As Brian mentioned, the 2 passes they've been on 3rd down, and this ball right up the middle, and that is easily Trevino's best run of the ball game.
I was able to get through the initial D-line, get it down to the linebackers for the first time tonight, and a 4-yard run, like you said, is the best rushing play of the night for the Bobcats. So it'll bring up about a 3rd and 4, not 3rd and long, and so kind of the playbook's wide open, and we'll see what South San has for 3rd and 4.
It's their shortest 3rd down of the ball game from the shotgun. The handoff on the way to Trevino, one-on-one, and he's able to get back to the line of scrimmage, but it's going to set up 4th down for the Bobcats.
Yeah, that play call right there tells me that they knew that it was 4-down territory. They were going to go for it. Typically, if you think it's going to be a punting or a kicking situation, you're going to go for, maybe throw a pass or something to get past the sticks. But by handing that ball off, they were just, if they picked up a 1st down, great. If not, let's get a couple yards and make it a 4th and short. So they were planning on going for it, 4-down territory from the beginning.
You talk about the high school game, really the 30 to the 50-yard line now has become 4-down territory for so many teams across the state.
Yeah, I mean, especially, right here, you're already down 14-0. You don't, if you punt it and it goes into the end zone, you're only getting 15 yards of field position. So you need to do something to kind of spark your team and see if they can get back into it. And so I totally agree with going for it here on 4th down. They're gonna talk about it. They're gonna take a timeout to see if they can come up with the best play they can on 4th down.
South San calls a timeout to walk things over. And Brian, just talk about the Smithson Valley defense here from these first 2 drives they've seen from them in this ballgame.
Smithson Valley and this coaching staff has been around a long time, and the core group of guys, Coach Worsty and his defensive staff, do such a great job of prepping the kids all week. And their number one goal, much like any defense, is, okay, what does the opposing offense, what do they love to do? What is their number one thing? What is their bread and butter? Okay, what are we going to do to stop that, or those 2 things that they love doing? And so far, we talked about at the beginning of the game, South San loves to run gap schemes. They want to run power, and they want to run counter. And so far, Smithson Valley has, every time they've run those plays, Smithson Valley has been there and stopped them cold. And so that's what this defense and this defensive staff does so well, is they try to take away what you're best at and what you love the most, and see if they can beat you with their third and fourth favorite thing instead of their first and second.
They'll look to go heavy at the line of scrimmage. There's an early jump, and here comes the throw. It's going to be incomplete, and we're going to see a flag right here.
Yeah, it looks like we jumped off sides. A lot of movement there, but I guess they're saying we enticed. So a rare mistake from the Ranger defense, and that's going to give South Santa first down. It was 3rd and 4, so the 5-yard penalty will give them a first down.
That's already 2 costly penalties for this Ranger team. We talk about the first 3rd down of the ball game for South San. There was the roughing the passer. Now you have the offside right here. So 2 plays that have bailed out the Bobcat offense.
Yeah, and pretty uncharacteristic of Smithson Valley. You know, they're usually the ones that aren't giving up penalties and doing any favors for the opposing team.
Handoff on the way for the Bobcats, and once again another 1-yard pickup. It's Trevino once again who's handed off the football.
Again, I feel like I'm just saying the same thing over and over. It's a counter play, and the defensive line does a great job of, the defensive ends, Woods and Barrow, are doing a phenomenal job of getting underneath the pullers and getting pressure up the middle and making the running back go side to side. And the linebackers are doing a great job of filling on the gap exchange. And sound like a broken record, but South San, they're going to keep going back to the well. And so Smithson Valley is going to have to keep doing what they're doing.
We can continue to see the same type of plays. You also see the fullback, Jared Trevino, in the mix as well. So once again, Pardo lines up from the shotgun, 2nd down and 9 with 2:22 to go here in quarter number 1. Pardo will take the snap. He'll give the handoff once again, and Trevino is able to pick up about 2 yards and set up about 3rd and manageable.
Yeah, brought a blitz off the edge with, I think that was Hornsby that came off the edge from his linebacker spot, forced the quarterback to give it off, and then a great fit from the safety spot by Davila. Not very often do you have a safety that can trigger from 10, 11 yards deep and stop a running back in his tracks for only a 1 or 2 yard gain. That means Davila's seen it real well, and as we know, he's a great tackler in the open field, so a great fit by the safety.
Talk about Diego Davila. Also, you talk about Colton Hornsby, the junior linebacker. So now 3rd down and 6 from the 30. You likely think it's 4-down territory, and the throw goes high. So we'll see what the Bobcats like to go with here on 4th and medium.
Yeah, and a great read by the sophomore corner, Hunter Haug there. I think that if it was a better throw, he might have had a chance to intercept that. He read the stop route, triggered downhill on it, and was right there with the receiver. Ball was a little high, so it was uncatchable for either one of them, but even if it was a good ball, I don't think that was going to be a successful play. So now, they went for it on 4th down from about the 40, so they're definitely going to be going for it right now from the 30-yard line with 4th and 6.
Hunter Haug so far in 2024, 3 interceptions this year. 4th down and 6 for South San. From the shotgun, will throw it, and it is tipped away, and it's going to be a turnover on down. Smithson Valley is going to get the ball back.
Yeah, I think big Justin Roberts up there got his hand up in the air and batted that ball down. It was good coverage on the back end as well. Don't know if that ball would have been completed anyways, but nonetheless, Roberts gets in there, reaches his hand up, and bats that ball away. So after a pretty lengthy drive that was bailed out by a penalty, and then they had the long explosive play on 3rd down on the double move, Ranger defense stiffens up, and Ranger offense will go back out there, and we'll see the sophomore Ty Newton then at quarterback give Spradling a little bit of a break.
We talked about Justin Roberts a moment ago, the defense he's played on the running game, but on this time coming up big on the pass deflection.
For sure, he's a good player.
So now we get to see, as mentioned, Ty Newton from the shotgun. He'll look over to his left side, trying to find a screen pass, breaking 1 tackle, the hurdle, and a 5-yard pickup for the Rangers.
Yeah, it was a good job by the defender of getting through the initial block and kind of hit Brody right as he caught it, but good physical play by Brody of getting off that, still going to get some yards. And, man, I know it looks cool, but that always makes me nervous when people leave their feet, But he hurdled the defender and then gets hit and picks up a 6-yard gain on what could have been very easily a tackle at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
Smithson Valley continuing to find ways to get over 5 yards per play, and now a flag going to be called.
Oh, man, we were about to hit Day on a deep one. We were going to fake the jet sweep to Sowersby, and the receiver was going in like he was going to block the safety and then trigger up, and it was going to be open, but looked like we had a procedure penalty there. So It's going to take the Rangers back 5 yards, and more importantly, what could have been probably a touchdown if we could throw and catch there.
You saw Brody Day, maybe 15, 20 yards separation between the nearest defender.
Yeah, he did a great job of kind of weaving in and acting like he was cracking the safety and then burst up the field. So a little bit of confusion here after the procedure penalty. Smithson Valley is going to have to take a timeout before the play clock runs out.
So they'll talk things over. It'll be 2nd down and 9 with 33 seconds to go here in quarter number 1. You're watching playoff football right here on the Ranger Network.
So I started taking robotics and STEM classes when I was in the 4th grade, along with GT classes. And as I got further into high school, I not only pursued GT, but engineering, robotics, all these STEM pathways that really, strengthened who I am. So I either consider pursuing teaching or STEM, specifically biomedical engineering. And along with robotics class, I also do engineering. And I think it'll really benefit my future regardless of which path I decide to take.
Welcome back to the Ranger Network here at Ranger Stadium. It is Smithson Valley with a 14-0 lead over South San. And now be Ty Knutson, who is back behind center with 2 receivers to his left, a man in motion. Knutson looks over to his left side, and he'll air it over the head of Brody Day. So after the false start, they try to go back to Day, and it sails it over his head. Yeah, and it was actually a pretty smart play by Knutson there. We thought by motioning Sowersby, the safety who was manned up over him, would kind of run with him. We're going to throw a skinny post to the receiver that was left, but the safety kind of stayed home. So Knutson tried to put a little air on it to get it over that safety. Obviously weren't able to connect, but at least it wasn't throwing it right at the safety who was sitting there on the hash ready to make an interception. So, I think it's the first 3rd down for Smithson Valley's offense tonight. 3rd down and 9 from their own 31-yard line, less than 30 seconds to go, and a pass over the middle, and it is incomplete, so it'll be the first 4th down of the ball game for the Rangers.
Yeah, all got off schedule with that penalty there. You had 2nd and 4, and then what could have been an explosive play that they were going to run there off the play action, but the penalty brought them back, and then 2 unsuccessful passes. Rangers are going to have to punt, and looks like the corner that was covering Pancho Garcia, maybe the safety, he's limping off the field. Hopefully he's okay.
So a little slow to get off the field. So as Brian mentioned, we'll get ready to see the punting unit for the first time in this ball game for Smithson Valley with 23 seconds to go here in quarter number 1. The Rangers scored on their first 2 offensive possessions of the ball game. However, as mentioned, the penalty throwing the Rangers behind schedule, so now they'll get ready to punt right now. The snap and the punt on the way from Trent Amaya. It's a low punt, but it's going to take a Ranger bounce. It's going to go all the way to the 22-yard line before it'll be eventually down by number 10, Trayton Bonet.
Yeah, it was a good job. Great punt. That's how Smithson Valley likes to do it, is kind of the low line drive, end over end kick, so the returner can't get his hands on it, kind of directionally punt it away from the returner, and that time it got a great bounce as it's designed to do, and got a bunch of rollout, another 15, 20 yards onto the punt, and so flipped the field a little bit, and so the Ranger defense will go out, and South San will have to go about 78 yards.
South San gets ready to come back on the field after turning the ball over on downs. I mean, what type of kind of mental challenges does that present after not being able to put points on the board?
Yeah, obviously their best drive of the game. I think that they're going to have to take some chances and start throwing the ball around a little bit. Ranger defense doing a great job versus the run, and they're going to stick with it. And I guess their philosophy is we're going to stick with what we do, and eventually, keep hammering away at the dam, and eventually it'll burst. And that time, a pretty successful run there on 1st down, picking up 6 yards.
Nice run for Alex Trevino, and the school board has officially hit 0. So at the end of 1, Smithson Valley 14, South San 0. You're watching round 1 of the 5A Division I playoffs right here on the Ranger Network.
Happy Veterans Day. This is the day set aside to thank and honor all those who have served honorably in the United States military, both at wartime and in peace. At Kamal ISD, we take this to heart. We say thank you in a variety of ways. Our campuses open their doors to local veterans, whether they are family members or they reside in our community. Our veterans are greeted with parades, flags, handwritten cards, and special performances by our student choirs, JROTC cadets, and more.
Welcome back to Smithson Valley, where the Rangers have a 14-0 lead over South San. They'll have the first offensive possession of quarter number 2. It has been mostly the rushing game for South San, and trying to break through is Trevino once again. He's able to fight forward and put it within a yard or two here on third down.
Yeah, again, a successful run. Good job by Hornsby folding in late, but playing pretty far out of the box there to kind of take away some of the quick throws to number 14, who's their most explosive wide receiver, Isaiah Hines. So we're playing a linebacker just a hair wider to take away some of those slants and stop routes to try to deter that. But because of that, we're out of the box a little bit, and so just a hair late folding back in, and so they were able to pick up 2 or 3 yards.
South San has elected to use the passing game mostly on third down. We'll see what they like to do right here on third down and 1. The snap and the handoff, and it's going to be enough for a first down. Pinballing forward for about a 4-yard gain. Once again, it's Alex Trevino.
Yeah, kind of spread the defense out there. Third and 2, third and 3. Kind of looked like a power read type of deal. Gave it to the running back. Looks like we had a guy there that could have potentially brought him down before the line, but a good move in the open field, and he was able to fall forward and pick up a first down. And more importantly for South San is just keep the offense on the field, let the defense get a break, and try to take as much time off this clock as you can before halftime.
So it's Valley looking to advance to the bi-district playoffs after finishing second in the state of Texas in 5A a year ago. And now a mishandled snap, and diving on it will be the quarterback Elijah Pardo, but a big loss of yardage right there.
Yeah, I didn't really see whether it was just a bad snap or the quarterback wasn't paying attention and mishandled it, but either way, the result's the same. It's about a 15, 20-yard loss there, which obviously is not good for South San. They had some good things going there. They were starting to run the ball a little bit, picking up 3 or 4 yards. And now, after getting a first down on a third and short situation, to have that happen, and now they're second and 24 here, and so we'll see what they do, whether they put the ball in the air now.
Talking about it's been a South San team who's mostly kept the ball on the ground. They'll look to do so right there. Only about a 2-yard gain, but I mean, if you're trying to pick up 20 yards, you can't afford to keep the ball on the ground like this.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think they know that Smithson Valley, the secondary, is very well, and they know that the pass rushers for Smithson Valley, their D-line is extraordinary and can create some pressure without having to bring a blitz. And so, their mindset might be, okay, look, this drive is pretty much dead. We just lost 20 yards on first down. So let's not make it even add insult to injury and make a bad play worse and try to throw one up and get it all back, and now you get an interception and stuff like that. So I think that's why you're kind of seeing, let's run it, see if we can get some of it back.
3rd and 21. They'll like to go with the screen pass, and a 2-yard pickup right there.
Yeah, it was great recognition by the middle linebacker, Piegler. Looks like they had something going there for a second. They ran a screen, had some linemen out in front, but Piegler was able to recognize it from his Mike linebacker position and comes up there, weaves between 2 blockers, and makes a tackle for a really short gain. And, much like Smithson Valley, a penalty kind of setting them behind the chains on offense last time. Obviously, the big loss on the bad snap kind of set South San up on what looked to be somewhat of a promising drive after getting the first down and running the ball pretty successfully.
South San picked up the first down on their opening 4 plays. However, it gets stalled out after the missed snap, and now the punt on the way. It's a fairly low kick. Will be caught around the 45-yard line. It will go into South San territory. A nice return will set up yardage around the 41 for Diego Davila.
Yeah, good return there. Again, line drive kick, fields it, gets an additional 15, 20 yards. And again, we talk about it all the time, is just by fielding a punt, you're probably saving 15, 20 yards in field position, not letting that thing roll out. And then you add another 10 to 15 yards on it. I believe that they punted from about the 25-yard line, and so that's only about a 15-yard net on the punt. And the Ranger offense is jogging out there in plus territory for trying to extend this lead to a 3-possession game.
So you can see Kate Spradling back behind center on this drive. It was Ty Knutson who was a quarterback on the previous drive. They've scored 2 touchdowns with Spradling behind center, and now the handoff on the way to Brad Sowersby. He's able to move around for about a 4-yard pickup.
A good run there. Sowersby's so good at that jump cut, stopping on a dime. Kind of faked the jet sweep there and then handed it off to Sowersby, and he gets what he can get in a pretty good 4-yard run there, kind of staying on schedule with the offense.
So now we'll set up 2nd and 6 at the South San 37-yard line. Spradling with 2 receivers, one to the left and one to the right. As a look over to the Rangers sideline before taking the snap.
Numbers if you want to run stretch to the boundary.
They'll take the snap. There's the handoff, and a tackle at the edge, about a 2-yard pickup once again for Sowersby.
He had numbers over there. Looks like it was a good play by the defensive end. He kind of locked out and separated, fell off of his blocker, and was able to make the tackle. But we had a hat for a hat over there into the boundary, but a good play by their defensive end. And so after a short gain, Smithson Valley will have a 3rd and 4. And what we talked about earlier when South San was on defense, you're probably thinking 4-down territory here. Obviously, you'd love to get the first down on 3rd down here. And not have to, have the pressure of a 4th down, but I would be very surprised if it wasn't 4-down territory.
Almost the exact territory that where South San went for it on 4th down earlier. Here's the handoff to Sowersby on the outside. He's able to get past the 30 before eventually being tackled out of bounds around the 26-yard line.
Yeah, that time we ran stretch to the wide side of the field and were able to get the edge. Had of Carvajal and fullback out in front, and Sowersby showing off his speed and picking up a first down, so Rangers are marching in close to the red zone again with a fresh set of downs.
He's been so impressive on the edge already. The 3rd time he's been able to make that turn and pick up 10, 15 yards on his runs.
Yeah, he doesn't need much to be able to get out there with his speed, but again, good blocking to allow him to get out there, and then he does the rest from there.
So from the 26, Kate Spradling takes the snap, looks over to his left side. He's got plenty of time to throw, and it's going to be batted away, and eventually it's going to be hauled in. It is P.K. Miller with the grab.
That was about the coolest 4-yard gain that we've ever seen. We tried a double move. It looked like a hitch and go. We run the hitch so often, and we faked the hitch, and then the guy who usually blocks ran down the numbers. South San does a good job. I think they were actually in cover 2. And so if that ball would have been thrown to the intended target, I probably would have been intercepted or batted down. But it was a good job by Spradling recognizing the coverage and hitting the replacement route. And PK grabs it, defender punches it out, but then he stays with it. And like I said, pretty cool 4-yard gain there.
You'll take the completion if you're Spradling, just outside of the 20-yard line. And Miller will get it on the jet sweep, goes out to the right side, and he's got separation, and he's going to find the end zone. P.K. Miller, 7 more points on the board.
Yeah, great blocking up front. Good timing on the route. Sowersby, so often he's the one that's getting to run it into the end zone. That time he does a great job as the lead blocker out on the edge. Good job sealing the edge. Carvajal gets his guy. Sowersby gets his guy, and then P.K. kind of hits it, makes one cut, runs through the dark tunnel, and comes out on the other side and is able to score and make the Rangers go them up 3 possessions.
To make it 21-0 right here. The hold and the kick on the way. And right through the upright. 21-0 for Smithson Valley in their round 1 matchup against South San. You're watching playoff football right here on the Ranger Network.
Tip-off November 4th. All 20 elementaries in Comal ISD are reading to the Final Four.
All reading counts in and outside of school in any format.
3rd graders log 25 minutes or more a night.
Record your minutes using the method your librarian shared with you.
The qualifying round ends December 15th. Let's log those minutes so we can make it to the next round. Let's go!
Let's go on the whistle. They know this is about reading.
Welcome back to the Ranger Network, where Smithson Valley a 21-0 lead over the South San Bobcats. The kick on the way. We'll see if South San will look to return it this time, and there will be no controversies this time. It'll bounce into the back of the end zone, and they'll set up shop at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, that time I bet they were the first two kickoffs. They got tackled inside the 15, and then they almost had a disaster. So they were pretty happy to let that ball go into the end zone there.
So get ready to see the quarterback, Elijah Pardo, get ready to march back onto the field. It has been handoffs constantly to Alex Trevino, set up by the blocking, the fullback Jerry Trevino. And it seemed like those are the lone three names that we've had to call in this bowl game for South San.
Yeah, it looks like Spradling, after playing a bunch of defensive series and quarterback there, he's going to get a breather. So linebacker Phillip Smith will come in for him.
First handoff on the way, a little spin move, bouncing off of tackles. Before 3 Rangers will come in and make the tackle.
I'll tell you what, I do like the way that Trevino runs. He's a tough runner, strong, he's thick, got big old thick legs. And there's been multiple times where Smithson Valley's had people right at the line of scrimmage making contact, and he's able to still, run through it and run tough and pick up. He had no business gaining 3 or 4 yards there on that run. But I like the way he runs. He's a physical back.
You think about already 2 or 3 times that we've seen that where he's been locked up at the line of scrimmage and finding a way to make a play after contact. Handoff once again to Trevino, and once again it takes 2 or 3 Rangers to take him down on a 3-yard pickup.
Yeah, moving the pile. He does a good job right then. Got a late flag. I mean, people were already starting to get up from the pile when the referee threw that flag, so I'm not sure. Who it's on.
A little extra mouthing after the end of the play.
It was definitely late. It was definitely after the play. So
before the flag, it's 3rd and 3. They're going to call unsportsmanlike conduct against Smithson Valley. Offsetting penalties on both Smithson Valley and South San. So to remain 3rd down and 3 here for the Bobcats.
Again, I didn't see it. I don't know what happened, but offsetting penalties, so something must have happened. But at the end of the day, those 2 players gets warning, so they can't afford to get another one. But as far as the down and distance goes, it's right back where we started. So be another big 3rd down for the Ranger defense here. See if they can get a stop and one more possession for the offense. See if they can get one more before halftime, because South San gets the ball to start second half.
Already a 3-possession bowl game for the Rangers. Trevino will get the handoff. He's right at the line to gain, and it looks like they're going to award the Bobcats first down.
Very favorable spot there by line judge on their sideline. The line judge on Smithson Valley side was walking in about a half yard short, but nonetheless, I don't think I've seen any refs ask for a measurement in a long time. It's like, close enough. Here we go. Move the chains. So, but regardless, South San gets a fresh set of downs, and so Smithson Valley will look to see if they can stiffen up here to allow the offense to get another possession.
4:20 to go here in quarter number 2. And here's the handoff, and quickly getting to the running back. The ball's loose. And it looks like they're going to spot it right at the line of scrimmage, but Smithson Valley doing a good job to be able to pry that football loose.
Yeah, I guess they're going to call them down because they're marking it as a 1-yard gain. And obviously, if it was a fumble and a recovery, it would have been a more of a loss there. But job of the Rangers ripping it out. And looks like South San has a player down. Not sure who that is. Over the loudspeaker, they just said it's their running back, Trevino. He's been a workhorse for him, so hopefully he's okay.
They've relied so much on him on their offensive side, so hopefully he's all right. But it's been a Smithson Valley defense who has really limited the big gains. I mean, we've only seen one really explosive play so far from South San. It's about a 10, 15-yard passing play earlier.
Yeah, and again, South San, they're okay with that. They're okay with getting 3 or 4 yards a pop, shortening the game, limiting the amount of possessions. Now, obviously, part of their game plan is defense, not giving up a whole lot of points and keeping them in the ball game. But they're okay with that for now. Obviously, in the second half, you're going to have to start, doing something to try to get back in the ball game. But they're okay with 3 or 4 yards a pop right now.
See if they like to bleed out that clock here and hold the final possession here of the half number 1. The handoff on the way, and it goes up the middle. It'll be met by a Ranger defender right around the 40-yard line.
And good job by the defensive end of spilling it out to Hornsby, the linebacker. But again, because he's apexed and walked out there quite a ways to try to limit the explosive number 14 wide receiver, Isaiah Hines, little late folding back in there, and so got all the way down to him and safety PK Miller arrived at about the same time, but still able to get 3 or 4 yards there. And so, 3rd and 5, and the Rangers would love to force a fourth down here to give the offense one more possession before half.
Carlos Arenas is the new running back in the ball game for South San. 3rd and 5. And snap is taken. However, right before the snap, it's a timeout from South San. Clearly saw something they wanted to change up before the play was taken.
Yeah, this is a big play for them. Obviously down 3 scores, but it's a big play to not give the ball back to Smithson Valley's offense and give them a possession. So, I think that their main goal here, yes, they would love to cap it off with points, but their number one goal here is to pick up this first down and take some more time off the clock so that the Rangers can't get the ball back. And so big 3rd down for them, so they're going to call a timeout to make sure they got the best play call possible.
On 3rd and medium, is this a potential 2 plays right here, or are you going to punt it away with still 3 minutes to go, and especially with how good Smithson Valley's offense has been in this game?
Yeah, I think that the only way they even consider doing it is if it's 4th and 1, maybe 4th and 2. But on your own end of the field, knowing you got the ball coming out in the second half, you don't want to give them a chance to get one right before half. So unless it's 4th and real short, I would highly doubt that we would see a 4th down attempt.
3rd down and 5 with 2:54 to go here in the second quarter. A handoff on the way to Arenas, and he is met at the line of scrimmage. A loss on 3rd down.
Yeah, it was a great job. I didn't see who was in there. I think it was Souza, but again, just shot through the backside A-gap before the center could block back on him. Gets penetration. Not sure if he was actually the one that followed through on the tackle, but he forced the running back to go wide where the Rangers could get there, and anytime you get a loss of yardage on a run play, it's an outstanding play. And there's another South San Bobcat down. Looks like an O-lineman, so hopefully he's okay.
We'll step aside momentarily. Smithson Valley 21-0 over South San. You're watching playoff football right here on the Ranger Network. It's 4th down and 6. And it still looks like the offense is still on the field here for South San. I'd say that should be the punter out for the Bobcats.
I was like you. I thought that was the quarterback and backs in the backfield, and then they snuck a punter back there. So looks like barring, turnover, Smithson Valley will get another possession before half.
So the punt on the way for the Bobcats. That'll be caught around the 30-yard line. It'll be Davila who is able to make the catch. He's able to sneak around before eventually being taken down at the 40-yard line.
And there's a lot of penalty flags. Back about 10, 15 yards away from where it returns, so you would guess that would be some sort of hold or block in the back. So Rangers were going to get the ball, past the 40-yard line, but they'll get backed up. Looked like a hold there, so get backed up and with all three, two timeouts. Smithson Valley had to use one earlier on offense when they had a little miscommunication. So 2 timeouts in 2 minutes, plenty of time for the Ranger offense to go down and see if they can put some more points on the board before halftime.
I was just going to say, how aggressive do you play this final 2 minutes, 13 seconds? Are you trying to go down and score a touchdown or –
I think it all starts with any 2-minute drill where it's not like obviously game on the line where you have to score, you lose the ball game. I think it all starts with, hey, we got to get the first down. Once we do that, then okay, we can start hurrying up. We can start using timeouts. But the last thing you want to do is throw 3 straight incompletions and not take any time off the clock and now give the ball right back to the opponent. And so once you get that first down, okay, now we're going to start, start picking up the tempo a little bit. But wouldn't be surprised to maybe take a shot in the first play, just see if we can get it all in the first one.
Ty Knutson will check into the ball game with a man in motion on the right side. Knutson looking deep down the field. Here comes a throw, and it is dropped. It went right off the hands of the receiver, number 7, Brody Day.
They went for it all and had a step on it. Ball was just a little bit outside. It was a great throw. But you see Day, he was kind of running a post route over his shoulder, kind of had to reach back over his backside shoulder. Wasn't able to hang on to it, but a good throw and a good route by Brody. And, again, 2-minute situation, getting one-on-one coverage. Rangers look out there, and they took a shot and could have got it all in one play.
So 2nd down and 10 from the 19-yard line. Knutson will hand it off. Moving around and eventually going to be taken down about 4 yards forward.
And again, Smithson Valley, they're going to take their time just a little bit here. Again, we got to make sure we get that first down. So if they pick it up here, now you'll start seeing some timeouts being used and some no huddle and up tempo and things like that. But you don't want to go too quick and then give the ball back and have to punt. So see if the Rangers can pick up a first down and then start getting the tempo going.
3rd down and 5. Knutson once again lines up in the shotgun. And it would be an option play out to the edge and unable to get there. So it's going to set up about 4th down and 3 coming up.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that South Sand's not using a timeout right now. The ball was, tackled inbounds. South Sand I thought would maybe take a timeout and keep as much time on the clock as you can to see if they could go punch one in before halftime. But they're going to let the play clock run down a little bit. And so Smithson Valley, they're not going to go for it here. They're going to try to see if they can get a free first down and get them jump off sides, and they did.
And here comes the throw deep down the field, and it is caught. It is once again Brody Day, and he's going to take it all the way to the house. Touchdown, Smithson Valley.
Yeah, there was no way that they were going to run a play unless they got the free play. They weren't going to go for it on 4th down from their own 25-yard line, but it was 4th and 4. And they weren't stopping the clock. South Sand wasn't stopping the clock. So Smithson Valley said, we'll go out there and try to draw you off sides. And if we do, it's a free first down or maybe a home run on the free play. But if you don't jump, we'll let it go down to 1 second, take a timeout, take as much time off the clock, and then punt it. But South Sand went ahead and jumped off sides. We snapped it while they were in the neutral zone, so we just throw a free jump ball. And Brody Day does what Brody Day does, and he goes up and high points it, then outruns the defender. And that's kind of a backbreaker right there for South Sand right before half, and what a play for some momentum heading into the half for the Rangers.
Huge blow late in half number 1, and the kick is good, 28-0. And, I mean, on the Smithson Valley side, you score a touchdown this late. What is the feeling going into the locker room?
Well, you were already relatively happy. 3 scores in a playoff game and not giving up any points. You're already pretty happy, but the offense – The last 2 possessions hasn't looked crisp, had a few penalties, had the punt. And so if nothing else, it gets your offense going a little bit with some momentum heading into the half. And then, defense giving up no points is always, going to give you a little bit of momentum heading into half, knowing that your defense is playing well. But anytime you're able to tack something on right before halftime expires, it's a big boost for the entire team.
So now Kate Spradling has had some touchdown success as well. Ty Knutson comes in. He throws in the home run ball as well. So now it'll be Smithson Valley who get ready to kick it away with 48 seconds to go here in quarter number 2.
Yeah, I would imagine that we'll get a fair catch call here, and then I would imagine South Sand, by not using their timeouts on that 4th down, I think they're about ready to go into halftime and make some adjustments. So I would be surprised if they don't just hand the ball off or take a knee and get into halftime.
So the kick on the way from Smithson Valley. It would just be a little pooch kick that'll go around the 20-yard line. It was nearly dropped, but it was able to be jumped on by number 5, Aaron Gutierrez.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what, these refs, they're going to throw a penalty on a sideline warning because the defense was coming out onto the field, and the ref had to go around some guys to run down there. So going to be a sideline warning on the Rangers.
So get ready to set up shop. Should be at the 25 before the warning. So Smithson Valley 28-0 in their round 1 matchup against South San. The runner-up in District 13. So South San will run back onto the field from the 25-yard line with 47 to go. And as Brian mentioned, couldn't imagine South San going for anything big right here, but a fairly long march after the sideline warning.
Yeah, not sure why they're marking it off so much. I mean, 25-yard line on a fair catch, and they get the ball all the way at the 40, a 15-yard penalty. I don't quite understand that.
See if that kind of changes things right here. The handoff, and it's able to get a loss of 2, and I could imagine that would likely be the kind of the nail here in half number 1.
Well, Coach Hill says, let's see if we can get another one. He uses timeout. So Rangers with 2 timeouts, they're gonna make South San either hopefully stop them here, use another timeout, and make South San either throw the football or see if the Rangers can get one back. And with as explosive as their punt return unit is, if we can get them to punt, we either block it or return one for a touchdown. So Coach Hill using his timeouts.
Yeah, I mean, think about it already. The returns in this ball game off the punts, a minimum 15 yards already. So as he mentioned, Coach Hill definitely having that in the back of his mind here, setting up a 2nd down and 11.
Yeah, and not just that. We have 2 returners back most of the time for that purpose, so that teams don't do to us what we do to them and just directionally kick away from the returner. But in a situation like this, if we are able to get them to the punt, I would guess that maybe one of those returners would not be in there, and we'd add another guy to the line and see if we can go block it.
Already seeing Diego Davila with several good returns already in this ball game.
So only 42 seconds left, so even if Smithson Valley holds him here and uses a timeout with only 1 left, they could run it on 3rd down and run out the clock.
So from the shotgun once again, this is the quarterback, Elijah Pardo. He'll give the handoff to his back. Now get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll set up 3rd down and 10, and there's that 2nd timeout, the final Ranger timeout.
Yeah, and we'll see what South San wants to do. I would imagine they would just hand it off here and let it go into half. But Coach Hill's saying, we're going to make you earn it. You could always, with our defense, the way they fly around and how good they've been all year with ripping the ball out, give our defense 3 chances to maybe cause a turnover there and see if we can get one more before half.
It's a Smithson Valley team who's forced 13 fumbles here in 2024. They've recovered 12 out of those 13 fumbles already this season. 28-0 here in round 1 of the UIL playoffs. Smithson Valley looking to get back on the road to the state championship like they did just 1 year ago.
Yeah, you got to take it week to week and, play each opponent each week and prepare as if each week is the state championship game in order to get there. And Rangers so far in the first half look sharp. They're off to a good start.
The winner of this game will play Vela or Harlingen South in the round 2 of the playoffs. The handoff goes to the outside. It's about a 4 or 5 yard pickup, and could imagine that would likely be the final play here of quarter number 2.
Yeah, you saw the Rangers kind of holding them up and seeing if they could rip that ball out, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. But South San's in no hurry. 17 seconds left, and, play clock is more than that. So imagine that would end the half right there.
So Smithson Valley's defense will look like they were ready to walk back to the sideline, and they'll get ready to do so as the final seconds will tick out here in half number 1. It has been all Smithson Valley through 2 quarters. They lead South San 28-0 here in the Bi-District Championship. You're watching round 1 of the UIL playoffs right here on the Ranger Network.
Tip-off November 4th. All 20 elementaries in Comal ISD are reading to the Final Four.
Looking to return to the Bi-District Championship for the 5th straight season. Smithson Valley with a 28-0 lead over South San as we get ready for half number 2. And Brian, I mean, what a great first half, and Smithson Valley getting things done on the offensive side, but clearly there's always things to work on as we get ready to go into the second half.
Yeah, I think the main things you want to see going in the second half, obviously you got a 4-score lead and in control of the ball game, but just have a sharper half. There was some penalties on both sides of the ball defensively that extended a few drives, and also on offense that kind of hurt a few drives. And so want to see it cleaned up as we move forward. Hopefully we can close out the second half and get a round 1 win, but you want to come out here and be sharp. And so that's what we're looking for in the second half is a sharp half of football.
We're talking about the 2 biggest Smithson Valley errors flag-wise. You talk about the opening drive for South San where there's a roughing the passer, and then you also talk about the 4th down and 4 where there was an offsides. Yeah,
in both situations, the Rangers were going to get the ball on the next play. With that first one, it was an interception, which would have given the Rangers the ball at about the 20-yard line. And then the other one was, a 4th down. So obviously, if you get that stop, then the offense is right back on the field. And so those are 2 penalties. And then on the offensive side of the ball, had a few that kind of stalled out some drives. So just looking to clean those things up. But if you'd have told me before the game you're up 28-0 at half, then we probably would have taken that. But we'll see how the second half goes as the ball blows off the tee. Amaya puts it back on and see if we can get underway here.
So Trent Amaya to kick things off here in half number 2 with the Rangers scoring a late 7 points with less than 30 seconds to go in the second quarter. Second half is officially underway, and it'll sail into the back of the end zone, and we are ready to resume here in half number 2.
Yeah, so we'll see, Smithson Valley and their coaching staff is so great at halftime adjustments and things that maybe got hurt on in the first half, making those adjustments. So often you see them come out and really stiffen up in the second half. And so we'll see if South San makes any adjustments. We talked about it before the game with their 2 favorite plays, that power and that counter, and they stuck with it. They grinded it. And at times it started looking better as the half wore on. Those 1-yard gains turned into 4 or 5-yard gains, but down 4 possessions, you would think they'd have to have a sense of urgency here. So we'll see what they do in this first half.
Let's see what the opening play is here of the second half. And the handoff once again to number 22, Alex Trevino. He tried to get to the edge, but he was knocked up at the line, and it's going to be 2nd down and 10.
Davila coming up from a safety spot, laying a hit. Again, great job by the interior defensive line of shutting up that initial hole, squeezing it down, making him bounce outside, and forcing him laterally, giving time for the safety to come fill. And we talked about it before, about a safety triggering and making a stop for only about 2 yards. That time a safety made a tackle for a loss. And so Davila triggering fast, and he came and he laid a good lick on the first play of the half.
Diego Davila has done such a great job on the punt return. Shows off his speed right there on the previous tackle. So once again, they'll give the handoff. It's about a 2-yard pickup, and it is Alex Trevino back in the ball game. We did see him go down in the late stages of the second quarter.
Yeah, good to see him back on the field. He's a good player for him. We talked about him in the first half. Good, tough runner. A lot of those 4 or 5-yard gains we talked about, he was hit at the line of scrimmage but was able to muscle his way for a carry for a couple extra yards there. And so good to see him back in the game. And Ranger defense, first 2 plays, 2 counter plays. Rangers right there and doing what needs to be done. So bringing up a 3rd and long. We'll see if South San puts it in the air.
3rd down and 8. It's been something that the Ranger defense has been able to force so many times in this ball game. Taking the snap, they'll try to work off of a screen pass, but not going to have enough to get to the 1st down. And once again, it's that Smithson Valley defense who swarmed so quickly after the pass.
Yeah, they put trips into the boundary, and so they had numbers initially, but just a great pursuit inside out from the linebackers and down from the safety spot. So they catch it, and they're able to get about 2 to 3 yards, but not anywhere near the 1st down marker. So Ranger defense does their job, holds it 3 and out, first drive of the half, and so Ranger offense should get good field position, see if they can come out and counter and make it 35-0.
Diego Davila has been the primary return man for the punting game so far. He's averaging 18.5 yards per return here in 2024, and he'll get underneath it at the 40-yard line before he'll be able to return this one back into South San territory. One defender trips him up. It's a shoestring tackle at the 36-yard line.
Yeah, he was close to busting it, but again, a great return. And maybe for the first time on a special teams, we haven't seen a flag down tonight. And so Ranger offense, not only does the defense does a great job of forcing a 3-and-out, but special teams get you great field position, and the Rangers starting in plus territory with only about a 37, 38-yard field.
Cade Spradling gets ready to come back onto the field. Already 2 touchdown passes in the first half. And he'll set up shop at the 37-yard line for the first Ranger offensive possession here of quarter number 3. The handoff on the way, but not much cooking there. It's the South San defense who quickly swarms to make the tackle.
Yeah, again, much like we talked about with our defense, clogging up the interior and forcing the back to go lateral. That time, Sowersby wasn't able to hit it downhill, bounced it outside, and South San had a good edge set over there. And so Smithson Valley kind of goes backwards a little bit on their first play, and see Pigler come into the ball game, and Sowersby comes out.
And it's Sowersby who's really had his way so far in this ball game. We saw the touchdown earlier in the red zone, so one of the first times really he's been swallowed up at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and hopefully he's okay. Kind of limping just a little bit, so hopefully he's okay, and see if the Ranger offense can get back on track here.
Spradling rolls out to his right side. His intended target was number 7, Brody Day. It falls to the turf, and it's now 3rd down and 11.
Yeah, good coverage there by the outside linebacker. You sprint out just to try to get a better angle. That time the linebacker read it well, and it expanded with the receiver, kind of got underneath it. That's why the ball was out in front of Brody. Spradling put it way out in front, so where only his guy had a chance at it, not run the risk of a pick. But again, in that funky territory here, you might see the Rangers do something just to pick up some yardage. Obviously, you'd love to get the first down, but might be thinking 4-down territory depending on how long the 4th down try is.
38-yard line play action. Bradley looking deep down the field, and he lays it perfectly into the pocket today, and his foot will step out of bounds. First down, Rangers.
Yeah, good balls. A little crossing route, a deep crossing route off of play action by Day. Good job. It's a longer developing route, so you got to have good protection in order for it to have time. And you see the touch that Spradling is able to just put enough on it to not let the trailing defender get a hand on it, but enough air to get it over the jumping linebacker. And just a great ball and great hands by Brody to pick up a first down on the 3rd and long.
So the Rangers are in the red zone once again with less than 10 to go here in quarter number 3. Spradling takes the snap. He'll hand it off to Pigler. He breaks through, and he's going to find the end zone. Touchdown, Rangers.
Yeah, it was just a beautifully blocked outside zone there. So often we see the edge, we get it sealed. That time, South San actually does a good job of running down the line of scrimmage and not getting reached, but that opens up a cutback lane. You see the replay right there. Pigler sees it, sticks his foot in the ground, gets north and south, and goes untouched into the end zone. So just what the doctor ordered for the Rangers. Come out and get a 3-and-out on defense. Good special teams play, setting up good field position for the offense, and offense goes in and does their job and adds another one. And so 35-0 with only about 3 minutes gone in the third quarter.
Couldn't have ridden up a better start to half number 2. Smithson Valley 35, South San 0. You're watching round 1 of the UIL playoffs right here on the Ranger Network. Welcome back to Rangers Stadium, and Smithson Valley gets a 3-and-out to open up the third quarter, and then they march down the field and score another touchdown, and it has been all South San in this ball game. And if you weren't pleased with the way the first half went, you got to be pleased with the way the quarter number 3 starts.
Yeah, like we talked about before the break, it's exactly what you want, and hopefully can keep it this way and start rolling some guys in and get out of here healthy and move on.
The kick will go out of bounds, so the flag will be placed. So South San will pick up a couple extra yards past the 25.
Yeah, I tried a little bloop kick there and actually landed on the turf without being caught. Unfortunately, kind of took a left-handed bounce and rolled out of bounds. But if that ball kicks straight or even kind of stops where it's at, Rangers might be looking at a recovery there and a turnover. But Fortunately bounced left, and so it'll be a penalty, and South San will, I think, probably have their best field position starting a drive after the penalty there.
They'll get the ball to start at the 30-yard line. It's been a Smithson Valley team who's been able to pin them back in their own territory all night long.
And again, we talked about it before the last drive, see if South San makes an adjustment or if they're, kind of going to stick with the status quo. Down 35-0, you would think at some point, if they were going to try to get back in the game, I'd have to start throwing it or doing something other, but here comes the counter play again.
Now, once again, it's the handoff to Trevino, and as we've said almost all night long, it's been that 1-2-yard gain for the handoff to Trevino.
Yeah, I mean, they're sticking with it, but Ranger defense is also reading their keys and been pretty successful all night of slowing it down. And so, at some point you would think that you would see an adjustment and picking up the pace just a little bit. But Ranger defense will be perfectly happy with 1 and 2 yards per gain, and then having a 3rd and long to where maybe your pass rushers can get after the quarterback a little bit.
What are some of those adjustments that South San needs to make to get back into this game?
I mean, at some point you got to get some explosive plays. That's by far their best run of the night right there, about a 12-yard gain. But even those right there, 10, 12-yard chunks are good. But when you're down 35-0, at some point you've got to get some explosive plays. And I think they've only really had one tonight on that double move where they were able to gain about 25, 30 yards on the pass. Other than that, it's been 2, 3, 1, 4 yards to carry. And so, when it's a 5-possession game like it is, the Ranger defense will gladly, give up some of those runs and let the clock continue to run. So at some point you would think South San's got to start getting aggressive and putting the ball in the air.
Handoff once again to Trevino, and he's able to get through the offensive line and pick up 5 yards. So Trevino, over his last 2 runs, running for about 15, 20 yards.
Yeah, and there's the power play again. That time they were able to kind of hit it downhill. We talked so much this game about getting interior pressure and not allowing them to hit it downhill and spilling it out to your linebackers and your safeties. That time they were able to get the kick-out block and hit it straight downhill and able to pick up 5 yards and a good gain on first down.
South San looking to finally get into Ranger territory. Now is at the 48-yard line on 2nd and 4 with 7:12 to go here in quarter number 3. The handoff on the way, trying to go right up the middle, but it's the interior defense that holds it only to a 2-yard pickup.
Yeah, he got stonewalled there. It was a mixture of, trying to see a number, I think it was Luck, D-line position, then Piegler from his Mike spot, Hornsby folding into the B-gap from his outside linebacker spot, and all three of them arrived at the same time, and that was kind of the first time all night that we saw the running back Trevino kind of get stopped cold where he at first contact there. Usually he's good for another 2 or 3 yards, keep the legs churning. That time Rangers arrived and was able to stop him right there.
We continue to praise the defense so far in this ball game, and Trevino able to break through. That was another play that looked like he should have been stopped dead in his tracks. Somehow he's able to inch forward for maybe 6 inches.
Yeah, brings up another 4th down. They tried to go quick, hustle up to the line, and then snap it quickly before the Ranger defense could kind of get lined up. Ranger defense well disciplined. They got lined up, and they pinched some guys inside, forced it out, and was able to make the tackle. And now it looks like in 4th down 35-0, you would think they'd be going for this. So it looks like they are.
I'd like to go for it. They'll bring some extra personnel. Ethan Garza checks into the ball game.
Trying to draw them offside, see if they actually run a play here or not.
4th down and 2, 6 seconds to go on the play clock. And they'll like to go for the QB sneak.
Nope.
And there is no forward progression. And Smithson Valley is going to force their 2nd turnover on downs.
Yeah, just a great push right there. Under center, it's probably quarterback sneak or at least some sort of dive play right up the middle. Walk both outside linebackers up on the line of scrimmage and pinch all 4 D linemen inside, and there's just nowhere to go. Quarterback got stonewalled right there behind the center, and Ranger defense does it again. And once again, the Ranger offense is going to start in plus territory.
So we saw Cade Spradling take the field on the first possession of half number 3. We'll see if they like to go with Spradling again or if they'll bring in Ty Newton, who's already thrown for a touchdown pass in the late stages of half number 1.
Look like Newton will be in. We got De Hoyos in at running back. He's played there quite a bit this year as well, and so starting to roll some other guys in.
So Knutsen's first possession of half number 2. He'll go play action. One defender nearby is able to get the throw out, and it's going to drop incomplete.
Yeah, good job of getting rid of it there. Pretty good coverage by South San, and Ty does a good job of evading the first initial rush and getting rid of it and not taking a negative play on first down. So incompletions are okay. You just don't want to lose 6 or 7 on first down and get behind the chains. And so good heads-up play by him, getting rid of the ball, but Rangers getting off schedule on first down, see if they can make it up here on second.
We've only seen Smithson Valley behind the chains once in this ball game. They've been fairly on schedule throughout the night. Shotgun snap, rolling out to the right side, and there is the completion on the far end of the field. It's about a 6-yard completion. Sets up third down and manageable.
Yeah, it's a really good catch by PK. Ball was kind of low and behind him. You see it on the replay here. Really good catch of kind of twisting his body around. Because of that, was unable to kind of have time to make a move, so good play by the defender coming up and tackling right on the spot. But do get 5 yards and make it a third manageable here, third and medium.
PK Miller led Smithson Valley in 2024, 17 catches for 200 yards. He's already had a touchdown catch so far here in this ball game. Third down and 5. The handoff to the left side, breaking through at the 35-yard line. Ultimately running out of bounds, but picking up the first down is Daniel De Hoyos.
Yeah, again, just the outside zone play. De Hoyos does a good job being patient, seeing it. Sometimes it hits outside. Sometimes it's a B-gap cut. Sometimes it's an A-gap cut. Sometimes you can cut it all the way in the backside A-gap. That time he just kind of rides the wave, hits the crease, and then uses speed to get to the edge. And once again, Rangers on picking up an explosive play on the outside zone play that they've done so often this year.
De Hoyos' third most carries on this team, right behind Kate Spradling and Brad Sowersby. He's averaging 5.8 yards a carry in the regular season. Under 5 to go here in quarter number 3.
10 players on the field. They're confused.
And they're going to like to use a timeout right here.
Yeah, they had some confusion. Guy ran on, guy came off, and then guy sprinted off like he thought he was getting substituted for, and they only had 10 on the field, so South End's going to use a timeout.
South San will use a timeout. We'll use a timeout as well. Smithson Valley 35-0 over South San. You're watching round 1 of the UIL playoffs right here on the Ranger Network. Welcome back to the Ranger Network. Smithson Valley 35-0. It's going to be a QB run for Ty Knutsen. He's able to rush forward and pick up the first down.
Yeah, quarterback run there. And usually you kind of think of Spradling as, obviously with Spradling's playing running back last year, he's more apt to run the football from the quarterback spot. But that doesn't mean that Knutsen can't. He's athletic as well and showed it off there and picks up about 12 yards and gets another first down.
Ty Knutsen, the sophomore quarterback, and able to pick up the 10-yard gain and put the Rangers back into the red zone. He's already had a passing touchdown once in this ball game. It was a 70-yard completion to Brody Day in the late stages of quarter number 2. Now he'll pass over to the right side, making it over to the 10-yard line, and still running. It's going to be another Smithson Valley first down.
Yeah, just a great play by the sophomore Haug there. Just a quick hitch. They had a defender there that read it pretty well, but he was able to make a miss in the open field and use his speed. And, anytime you can just have an extended handoff essentially on a quick hitch and be able to pick up a first down, it's a big deal. And, that's sophomore to sophomore, so we'll probably be seeing that connection for years to come.
Yeah, you mentioned Hunter Haug, one of the multiple sophomores here on this offense for Smithson Valley, and they're looking to put up 40 points here in quarter number 3. Ty Knutson once again in the shotgun. He's got two receivers left, one to his right. He's also got his running back DeHoyce in the backfield. He'll roll out to the left side. Completion made. Diving to the end zone, and it's going to be a touchdown for Smithson Valley.
Great job by Carvajal. It's great to see him get into the end zone. He, playing that fullback position, you do a lot of the dirty work so often. You're the lead blocker. You're pulling up in the hole on ISO and counter and having to hit linebackers all the time and trying to reach guys on the outside zone. But it's good to see him get into the end zone and pay it off and allow him to get on the scoreboard as well. So good play, good drive, and a good touchdown by old Carvajal there.
Carvajal had 3 receptions in the regular season, 4 here on the year, and he gets his first touchdown, and now Smithson Valley leads this ball game 42-0 here in the Bi-District Championship game. You're watching playoff football right here on the Ranger Network. Welcome back to Ranger Stadium. Smithson Valley adding on to the scoreboard once again on the completion from Ty Knutson to Cisco Carvajal. It's the second passing touchdown of the ball game for Ty Knutson, one in the first half and one in the second. We get ready to see another South Sand possession here with 3:25 to go in quarter number 3. Kickoff on the way, and once again it'll bounce into the end zone, so it'll set up shop for South Sand at the 25-yard line.
Those always make me nervous right there because, those guys just watch it go over their head, assuming that it's going to take a bounce and go into the end zone. That ball lands at the 1-yard line. If it kind of does a backspin there, that's a live ball. So, but I guess they got away with it. But we'll see here as guys start to roll in. The goose egg on the scoreboard is still something that the Ranger defense is going to, even though different guys are kind of rolling in there, those guys, they practice and look for them to be just as sturdy as some of the other guys that were in there before them.
So we get ready to see South Sand get ready to take a snap. They've rushed the ball primarily all night long, and now there's going to be a false start of the offense. So before they can even take a snap on this drive, they're already behind the chains.
Yeah, unfortunate there. Again, you definitely don't want to get behind the chains against the Ranger defense, particularly when you are a run-first oriented football team. Usually you're hoping for 4 to 5 yards on a run play, and now even backing it up 5 yards, you're that much more behind. So, we've talked about it, kind of waiting for them to maybe try to open it up a little bit and see if they can air it out. Maybe this will be the drive that they do. They're in a spread formation here. So,
first play, and they'll like to air it out right here. Was able to break past one tackle, but ultimately gets taken down after about a 3-yard pickup.
Looks like we got a Ranger down. Looks like the corner Kalunga. He was the one that initially triggered from his cornerback position on the hitch route. Didn't see what happened, but he's down on the turf getting looked at. Hopefully he's okay.
So we'll get ready to step aside. Smithson Valley leads this ball game 42-0 with 3:12 to go here in quarter number 3. You're watching round 1 of the UAL playoffs right here on the Ranger Network. Welcome back to the Ranger Network, and Julian Kalunga is able to be helped off the field at the end of the break. Kalunga, the senior, 2 interceptions in 2024.
Yeah, had a big one last week, had a pick 6 last week down in Victoria, and hopefully he's okay.
That was a ball game that Smithson Valley ultimately went on to defeat Victoria East. Final score 45-0. And trying to move forward, it's going to set up about 3rd down and 5.
And another good run by Trevino there. He was hit at the line of scrimmage, was able to spin off of it and pick up about 5 or 6 yards more before the Ranger defense was finally able to bring him down. But, again, another impressive run. Ranger defense making contact at the line. And, you know, just because we got other guys in there right now, the defense is still playing well. And, you know for dang sure that they want to keep that 0 on the board. So still got guys flying around.
We talk about the 0 on the scoreboard. The last time that the Smithson Valley defense gave up points, you have to go back to their win against New Braunfels on October 25th where they gave up 18.
Yeah, Ranger defense always stout. And, you know, there has, fortunately for the Rangers, there has been a few games this year where, you know, the outcome was decided relatively early on and people were rolling in and other guys came in and still held the shutout, still played very well, and tonight looked to be no different as they, you know, make a 3-and-out here and force another punt.
If you include tonight's ball game in the month of November, Smithson Valley outscoring their opponents 157-0.
That's pretty good.
Not a bad month of November, especially when you're playing playoff football.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
The snap and the punt on the way. There's going to be another flag as soon as the ball was punted. It'll end up going out of bounds around the 42, but we'll see what the officials call it after the flag.
One or two things. If the line judge threw the flag and didn't blow the play dead, it was either we were lined up offsides or they had an illegal formation. Ranger offense is gathering up, so looks like it's probably going to be illegal formation. They didn't have enough guys on the line of scrimmage.
The ball landed at the 42. They'll end up marching it forward, and whether it's been the return game or the penalty, Smithson Valley has had great field positioning all night long.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're barring one or two where they the defense stopped them on 4th down in their own territory. But as far as, you know, punts or returns or whatever, it's been at or past midfield pretty much every time, and that just gives you so much more confidence jogging out there as an offensive unit, knowing you only got 50 yards to go or 40 yards to go, as opposed to what South San has dealt with so many times. Man, we got 80 yards to go. First drive of the game, that we pin them inside the 15-yard line, got 90 yards to go, and so can't overstate how important a field position battle is. And Rangers got to get another one here with good starting field position.
They've won the field positioning battle all night long. Ty Knutson is out there once again, but there will be a whistle before the snap. A delay game against Smithson Valley.
Usually on a change of possession, they'll wait to start the play clock until the team's kind of jogging out there. So very rarely do you see a delay of game coming off the huddle or off the sideline. But nonetheless, here we go.
So good field position nonetheless with the ball at the 42-yard line. Knutson in the shotgun. Then in motion, it's going to be the handoff here to De Hoyos, and he's going to be wrapped up way behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it was a good play by coming all the way from a safety spot, triggering quick, was Pancho Garcia. Mentioned him earlier. He was banged up, and good to see him back on the field. But, you know, after a penalty and then a negative play here, you know, Rangers looking at 2nd and 22. So we'll see what they do here, whether or not they're okay with just kind of running it, getting some of it back. But not the way you want to start the drive.
Less than a minute to go here in this 3rd quarter. A handoff once again to De Hoyos. He gets to the outside edge, breaking through, and it wasn't until the 3rd tackle that he was then eventually brought down to the turf.
2nd and 22, run the stretch. You know, run the outside zone has been one of their best plays all season, one of their best plays all night. And De Hoyos does a good job, very similar to the long run he had on the previous drive, just kind of riding that wave, seeing that cut, getting up in there, outstanding blocking up front and by his fullbacks, and able to pick up all that yardage back and actually make it somewhat of a 3rd manageable at 3rd and 9.
And I talked about that second down and 22, and just like that, the run sets up the potential for first down. 10 seconds to go here in this third quarter. We'll see if Smithson Valley ultimately does snap it or just trying to force the South Sand to go offside. They will take the snap. Newton will have the completion right around the 44. Let's see if it's enough for first down. They're going to mark it just short, so it'll be fourth down when we head into quarter number 4. But it has been all Smithson Valley. They lead over South Sand 42-0. You're watching round 1 of the UIL playoffs right here on the Ranger Network. Bi-District Championship at Ranger Stadium alongside Brian Hill, Joey Gonzalez, and Brian 42-0 heading into the fourth quarter, and Smithson Valley looking to convert a fourth down right here.
Yeah, we'll see if they're trying to draw them off sides and get another free play or if they're going to run one. But in that, we talked about that territory before where it makes sense to go for it anyways.
So here is the handoff to De Hoyos. He'll try to lean forward. Line judge will be right at the line to gain. We'll see where they're going to mark it right here. Looks like they may mark it short.
I don't understand that spot. You have both line judges who are looking down the line mark it as a first down, and then the back judge comes in and marks it a half yard short. I don't.
So it's going to be a turnover on downs. The first time this evening that Smithson Valley will turn it over on a fourth down play. So it'll set up South Sand first down at the 42-yard line. I should say 44-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, you had to get to the 44-yard line. It looks like he kind of jumped and landed right on the 44, and then both line judges are running out on the 44-yard line. And then they mark it a half a yard, or the back judge comes in and marks it a half yard short. But they didn't ask me, so.
So it's going to set up first down for South Sand, still trying to break that scoreless streak that Smithson Valley has forced here in the month of November. The handoff on the way. Once again, Trevino spinning around, and he'll be able to pick up about 3 or 4 yards and set up second and 6-7.
Again, just not a real big sense of urgency by South Sand. Obviously, at this point, it would take a Herculean effort to come back down 42-0 in the fourth quarter, but still not really hurrying up to the line or taking any chances down the field, so which is just fine with the Ranger defense.
Rangers will take it, and you talk about sense of urgency, still going to the sideline to discuss the play, no hurry up. And now they'll look to pass right here, throwing it through the air. The completion is made at the 20-yard line, ultimately being taken down is number 11, Ethan Segura, with a big first down.
Yeah, and it's a heck of a play. It was a great design. They had so many times they'd had trip receivers out there, and they just raised up and threw the hitch. And that time they faked it, and both guys kind of fake blocked and then hit up the seam, and it was a really good throw. But, again, it makes you ask the question, why hasn't this been – those type of chances been taken earlier in the ball game and waiting until it's 42-0.
It seems like we've talked about that so much here in the second half, continuing to use a run, and now they'll keep it on the ground on this play and able to pick up about 6 yards out of it.
And they got a little bit of momentum, and now they're not huddling, kind of going quicker and stuff like that. So maybe they're just kind of waiting for a spark to get going, but obviously probably a little too late.
They got a big hill to climb, 42-0 with a little over 10 minutes to go here in this fourth quarter. Pardo will get ready to take the snap with Trevino lining up on his left side. They'll have the handoff, and this one gets about a yard picked up. It's going to be 3rd down and about 7.
A lot of pushing and shoving going on. A flag's thrown, and from what I saw up here, it looks like a Ranger got pushed. Now, whether it's offsetting or whatever, but this would be a huge penalty on South San if it's on them. You know, you're finally getting some momentum. Let's see what the judge calls. Yep, on South San. I mean, and obviously best drive of the night, best opportunity to score. I guess they call an offsetting again.
Yeah, so it'll be the second unsportsmanlike penalty of the ball game. Both have been offsetting, so it won't affect the 3rd down play, but you did see the shoving after the play once again.
Yeah, and that's disappointing if you're a Ranger. I mean, like, that's 2 unsportsmanlike conducts. You've been bailed out because it's been offsetting, but at the same time, that can't happen in the playoffs in a tight ball game.
Pass over to the right side. The completion is made and going to inch forward. It'll be right at the line to gain. We'll see if they count it as a 1st down. They're going to mark it short, so it's going to be 4th and 1 coming up for South San.
See if the Ranger defense can hold strong. I would imagine they wouldn't try to kick a field goal unless they just want to get some points on the board. But you'd imagine they'd go for it, 4th and 1. But again, going back to that, that's, you know, like we said, that's 2 unsportsmanlikes and, you know, and then a late hit or roughing the quarterback, which, you know, that one is what it is. But, you know, both of them have been offsetting. But so as far as yardage goes, but you can't have those deep in the playoffs if you're playing in a tight ball game in December. Those type of penalties can really hurt you and extend drives for the other team. And one-possession ball games, that could make or break it. So when you talk about being sharp, it's not just the actual play and running the plays. It's, you know, having discipline as well down the stretch. Of course, you know, they're going to be a little upset. Their season's about to end, so we got to hold on to our discipline.
Yeah, but you talk about fixing up the penalties. I mean, you look at the playoff bracket, a matchup against Vela or Harlingen South, and then after that, a matchup against potentially New Braunfels, another district matchup, and then way down the road you face off against a team like Piper, who is the district champion. So that is the attention to detail that we're talking about later on in November going into early December.
Yeah, I mean, every week in the playoffs, you're gonna, as it goes on, you know, they always say there's no bad teams playing in December. There's no bad teams as you get to the 2nd, 3rd, 4th rounds of the playoffs. And so everybody from here on out is going to be a tough test, and every one of them is going to be, you know, fighting tooth and nail. Could come down to one single possession ball games, and, you know, you just got to hold on to your discipline and allow the other team to make the mistakes and make sure you're not the one that does it. And obviously this game's pretty much decided, but, you know, work on it right now.
It's a long-term thinking for a potential championship squad. 4th and a yard with 8:50 to go in this 4th quarter. South San looking for their first points of the ball game, and they're going to lean into the end zone and score, and the Bobcats have ended the scoring drought for Smithson Valley opponents.
Yeah, and again, it was set up by that kind of and go, the long explosive pass play that, you know, like I said, was a really good play design and a really good throw by the quarterback, good catch by the receiver. You know, and so that set up that scoring drive, and obviously the Rangers would love to keep the goose egg on the board, but, you know, good that South San was able to put something together and kind of end on a good note for them.
So they score a touchdown with 8:42 to go in the 4th quarter, but Smithson Valley leads 42-7. You're watching round 1 of the UIL playoffs right here on the Ranger Network. Welcome back to the Ranger Network. South San getting on the board late in the Fourth quarter, 8:42 to go, 42-7. So there's a bright spot for South San as they get ready to conclude their 2024 season.
Yeah, and again, it was all set up by that play. We've been kind of waiting all night for them to kind of pull out some and go, take some chances and throw the ball down the field, and they were able to do it on that drive, and it ended up paying off for them, and so capping it off with a touchdown. And so obviously the game's pretty well decided, 42-7 with only 8:42 left in the ball game, but good to see them have some success.
Octavio Castillo will be back to kick, the sophomore for the Bobcats. Calling for a fair catch at the 20 is number 7, Brody Day.
Yeah, fair catching it. Making sure we don't have any turnovers. Also don't want to run the risk of anybody getting banged up. So making sure we field the ball and get possession of it. And so that's about the only time you'll see the Rangers fair catch anything is when the game's out of reach there. They love getting their hands on the ball and returning it in the special teams. But Ranger offense comes out, and again, last drive was kind of barred by having a penalty and then a big loss on first down. They were able to get most of it back on third down, but obviously you don't want to be in 3rd and 9. And so we'll see if the Ranger offense can win first down on this drive, unlike last time.
8:42 to go in this fourth quarter. I mean, you just keeping the ball on the ground, or are you going for passes late in the ball game?
I think you're trying to run the ball, and if you can run the ball, keep doing it. If not, then maybe some possession-type throws and plays like this.
Little shovel pass here. It's about a 3-yard pickup for Smithson Valley.
And Brody Wick on the carry. A little jet sweep. Had some numbers out there, but it was a good job by the defender kind of getting blocked and then, getting off of contact, falling back in and making a tackle. But a good, solid gain there on first down. Like we talked about, important gaining yards on first down, keeping the Ranger offense on schedule. So good to see. 2nd and
7 keeps the clock running. And still have Ty Knutson out there on the field, on the sophomore quarterback. And Knutson will take the snap. He'll have the handoff. And trying to squeeze on through is number 9, Owen Truce.
Yeah, we've seen him the last couple weeks coming in, Truss, and he's an explosive player back there. He majors at linebacker, plays linebacker, but he's been able to tote the rock in the last couple games here, and he's scored a couple touchdowns, had some big explosive plays, so wouldn't be surprised here on 3rd and short, give it back to him, and if he can bust through that first line, he's got the speed and to maybe take it all the way.
3rd and about 2 yards to go for the Rangers with 7:30 to go here in this fourth quarter. Knutson will take the snap. Once again, another handoff up the middle. Should be enough for the first down. It will. First down, Rangers.
Yeah, good physical run by Truss there. Kind of hit right at the marker. Able to keep his feet moving and fall forward for an extra 2 yards and picking up a first down. And good job by this group getting a first down. I got to see who the fullback in the game in. That was a heck of an ISO block there. Met the linebacker in the hole and knocked him back a little bit. Looks like number 25, Jaster. Heck of a job on the lead block there by the fullback.
First down and 10, 6:58 to go. Another handoff on the way. Truss breaks right through the hole, and he's looking towards the end zone at the 20, down to the 10, and he's going to march into the end zone. Touchdown, Rangers.
There he is, Truss. We talked about him the last couple weeks. He's shown some explosiveness. That time he does a great job on the outside zone, like we talked about with the Hoyles, kind of being patient, widen, and then once he sees that first crease, bang, right there, sticks it, gets north and south, splits the safeties, outruns the backside one, and is able to take it all the way into the end zone. And like I said, last 3 or 4 weeks, he's been making some plays at the running back position, so good for him to see. And a little confusion there on the PAT team. Yep, we need you there. There we go.
Smithson Valley looking to make it 49 points. The kick on the way, and it is right through the uprights for the kicker, Trent Amaya. And one of the biggest plays of the night goes in favor of the Rangers, 49-7 against South San. We'll take a quick break. You're watching round 1 of the UIL playoffs right here on the Ranger Network. Welcome back to the Ranger Network. South San just got on the board moments ago, and then it was Truss. We just talked about how
blocking up front on the stretch play. Stretch play's been a good one all night, but it takes a back seeing it and being patient and finding that cut. And we've seen our backs do it all night, and then Truss is no different. Truss gets in there, sees that cut, gets downhill, and uses his speed to outrun everybody. And a different kicker in there was able to kick off and got under it just a hair, so that ball's going to go out of bounds. So South San will start with good field position after the penalty on the out-of-bounds kick.
So this will likely be the best field positioning in the ball game for South San. Maybe look to get one final score before the season comes to a conclusion. Rangers see if they could put up 50 points here in their by-district championship game, but I mean, just talk about some of the positives, the negatives. The positive, the offense clearly able to score, but one thing you got to fix next week is the penalties.
No doubt. Yeah, got to clean some things up. As we said, the further you move in the playoffs, the bigger those become. And if you want to play in December, you got to clean some of those things up.
First play of the drive, and charging forward for about 4 or 5 yards. Make it 2nd and 5. One final score around the district. Piper with a 63-0 win, so they'll advance into round number 2.
Yeah, seeing how our district's doing, looks like Seguin and the district winner, Southwest, obviously Seguin being our 4 seed and playing the 1 seed Southwest, they are tied right now at 26, but I think New Braunfels doesn't play till tomorrow, I believe, but see how our district does in the first round.
The district looking to go 2-0 here in 6 minutes time. The snap and the handoff, it's actually a play action, and that one is batted away. There was separation for number 14, Isaiah Hines.
Yeah, and that's their guy they have really wanted to try to get the ball to. Smithson Valley's done some things to prevent that, walking a linebacker out, maybe playing cover 2 safety on top, but he is their explosive receiver. And now late they're trying to get to him, but it was a good play by the corner. Kevin Rawls coming downhill in the slant route and arriving with perfect timing and knocking that ball away. So we'll have a third and medium here for Southwest, and see if 5:55 left, see if they can pick up another first down and take some time off this clock.
3rd and 5 from the 36-yard line. Elijah Pardo, the senior, gets ready to take the snap once again with another man in motion. It's number 12, Julius Martinez. And it will ultimately be the quarterback, Pardo, who will take the ball himself and pick up a yard, setting up 4th down and 4.
Yeah, again, just good job by the defense. Physical all night long, the Ranger defense. No matter who's been in the ball game, even if haven't done an assignment perfectly correct or they've gotten 4 or 5 yards, just seems like every time that the Rangers arrive at the ball, it's a physical hit and flying around, and no matter who's in there, Ranger defense is bringing the wood. And you see sophomore Weston Haney jogging off the field, got some reps at Mike, the sophomore there. Haney, big name around here in the Smithson Valley community, so good to see Weston, the sophomore, getting to the ball game and be the Mike for that possession on the 3 and out.
Another 3 and out here in this half. It was South San who opened up the half with a 3 and out, and now a timeout going to be called. 49-7, timeout on the field. We'll take one as well. Less than 5 to go here in the 4th quarter before the Rangers can advance to round number 2. You're watching round 1 of the UIL playoffs right here on the Ranger Network. Welcome back to Ranger Stadium. Diego Davila will be back to return for the Rangers after forcing a 3 and out.
Yeah, Rangers in their regular defensive look just in case, and I would expect Davila to fair catch this thing, and if he can, or let it
the line
catch
drive
it, take a knee.
Line drive kick takes the knee, and Smithson Valley will get ready to start their drive from the 21-yard line.
Just under 5 minutes left. Again, getting some other guys in there. Hopefully get to a lot of them, be able to call their name out. Let's see if the Rangers you're not necessarily trying to score here, but your goal is to still have the ball when the game ends. Go on a drive, take some time off the clock, get a couple first downs, and run this thing out and see if we, our defense doesn't have to come back on the field if we can get a couple first downs here.
Try and drain out the final 5 minutes of this ball game.
Looks like it's another sophomore coming in. Easton Walker, number 21, coming in at quarterback. His brother was a quarterback for the state finalist team last year, Ryland, so good to see him up.
A little sibling connection there, and the first handoff on the way. Let's say it goes to number 87, Preston Baker. He's trying to run out the clock here. And third quarterback in the ball game for Smithson Valley. It was Cade Spradling who began the ball game. 2 touchdown passes. Ty Knutson checked into the ball game as well. He had a pair of touchdowns en route to this 49-point run for the Rangers.
Yeah, obviously Smithson Valley not in any hurry. Taking some time off. Was tackled and bounced. The clock's running. Still 20 seconds left on the play clock.
The offense will get set with a receiver left and right. And another will be play action this time. We'll find a receiver near the sideline before ultimately being taken out around the 38-yard line.
Yeah, a little bootleg there. First completion for Easton Walker. Good throw on the bootleg. Gets it to the sophomore tight end, Julian Martinez. And I thought for a second he ran out of room and was just going to go out of bounds, but he was able to tightrope the sideline and pick up a first down there. So good pitch and catch. And like we said, want to just keep the chains moving and keep the clock rolling. So good job by Martinez. Look at that stiff arm there. Tightrope in the sideline. So heck of a play and a great first completion for the sophomore Easton Walker.
Good job there by Martinez to find extra yardage after the catch. And now the handoff on the way. Trying to move around the offensive line, but going to be taken down after a 1-yard pickup.
Looks like McKeon there on the carry. Again, defense does a pretty good job of getting penetration up the middle, trying to force it outside. So McKeon, not really much running room there, but staying in bounds, and the clock is rolling, and this next snap will be well under 3 minutes left in the ball game.
Plenty of time on the play clock, so Smithson Valley, no big urges right here. I mean, we'll pick up 2 more first downs, and this ball game's over.
Yeah, and I don't think South Sand's going to be using any timeouts or anything like that, so 1 or 2 more first downs should do it.
Handoff over to the left side. It's number 27, Lincoln McKeon, once again, and he's gobbled up at the line of scrimmage before he's ultimately sent backwards.
Yeah, ran the outside zone. That time, defensive line was able to actually get penetration there, so McKeon tried to reverse course and got wrapped up there for a loss, but wisely stays in bounds and keeps the clock running, and we'll be under 2 minutes by the time this ball snapped for third down.
Close it on in the final 120 seconds of this ball game, with 38 seconds showing on the play clock. Let's see if they decide to hand it off to McKeon once again, which they did on the previous play. McKeon will line up in the backfield with less than 2 minutes to go here in this ball game. We'll take the snap, play action once again, deflected at the line of scrimmage. It will drop incomplete. It'll be 4th down and 12 for Smithson Valley.
Yeah, had it there. Ran like a deeper kind of stop route, about an 8-yard stop route. We were going to throw it out there to Quintana, and it looked like it was going to be a good throw. It was thrown on time, but defensive line gets its hand up and kind of bats that ball away. But the timing was good, and there was some separation there. Might have had a chance to catch it and pick up that last first down. But nonetheless, offense does a good job, comes in, gets a first down. And so the South Sand's going to get the ball back with under 2 minutes left in the game.
So for the third time in this ball game, we'll see Trent Amaya back to punt. It's a bit of a high snap. He's able to leap up and make the grab before he'll punt it down the field. And once again, that line drive kick will take another Ranger bounce before it'll ultimately be stopped at the 22-yard line.
Yeah, great directional punt. Again, not letting the returner get his hands on it. End over end, tumbling punt. That thing kicked forward about another 15, 20 yards after it landed. And So good job by Amaya of handling the snap first and foremost, and then able to get a really good kickoff. And so last drive of the ball game here for South San. Last drive of the season probably, barring turnovers and things like that. So see if the defense can get one more stop before we take it to the house and move on to round 2.
A minute 36 showing on the scoreboard. No timeouts for South San, so if they want to play fast, they'd have to go with the no huddle here in the final stages of this ball game. Once again, another receiver in motion, Julius Martinez on the jet sweep. And he'll be able to take up 4 yards out of it, setting up 2nd and 6.
Yeah, good pursuit by the Rangers, and looks like his forward progress was stopped inbounds, so they're going to keep that clock rolling. So good job by the Ranger defensive pursuit on the jet sweep there. This snap will probably take place, unless they go faster than what they've been doing all night, it'll probably take place under a minute left in the ball game.
A minute 8 to go here on the clock, and as Brian mentioned, officially under 60 seconds to go here in quarter number 4. Another receiver in motion, a little shovel pass to Segura trying to get to the edge. A spin move ultimately taken down by number 35. This one's about.
Got a flag behind the play. Back judge, or the white hat threw it, so that's in the area of holding. Or illegal hands in the face by the defense.
So that ultimately send the ball forward for South San.
Yeah, 15 yards and a first down, but with 50 seconds left in the game, I think maybe one or two more plays and we'll call this one.
All right, a couple more jet sweeps here for South San, who've run it on the first 2 plays of this drive. It'll set up the ball at the 42-yard line. Elijah Pardo will get one of his final snaps in a South San uniform, the senior quarterback. Smithson Valley will make a couple last substitutions here with their backups getting their final reps here in this playoff game.
Yep, should be the last play, barring running out of bounds or an incompletion.
The pass here, a completion made at number 5, Aaron Gutierrez. He's pulled forward and tackled in Ranger territory for another Bobcat first down.
Clock stopped briefly while the chains move, but it's back rolling again, so we'll see if South San wants to run another play or not. They're signaling one in, so it looks like they're going to try to get one off with 10 seconds left. Don't know if they will.
10 seconds to go here, and with 5 to go, it looks like they're going to take one final play here. South San takes a snap. Here's the pass. It's in the air. It is incomplete, and that is the bowl game. And Smithson Valley is your 2024 by-district champions as they defeat the South San Bobcats. Final score 49-7.
Yeah, again, you'll always take the win, especially in the playoffs, but, played very, very well on both sides of the ball. Obviously, defense played great. Offense had a multiple series where they looked fantastic as well. Just a few things on both sides of the ball to clean up some penalties and making sure that, after the whistle and everything like that, we're taking care of business because it's only going to get tougher from here. But anytime you can win, especially in the playoffs, it's a good thing, and so we will take it.
5th straight year for Smithson Valley winning the by-district championship, dating all the way back to 2020. You'll take a look at next week. They'll play the winner of either Vila or Harlingen South, and that should be a pretty difficult matchup going into next week.
Yeah, just looking at the score right now, I think Vila's well in control. They're a good ball club. They'll be coming in to the game 11-0, and really all year has been dominating that district, and so Smithson Valley will definitely have a tough test, and I believe that will be on the road all the way in Edinburgh, and so they'll be in their home environment, so it's definitely going to be a big road test for the Rangers in round 2, but they'll be ready.
Well, Smithson Valley now 3 straight games scoring over 45 points as they capture the by-district championship throne. And once again, another congratulations to Smithson Valley for your 2024 by-district champion. So for Brian Hill, I'm Joey Gonzalez saying so long here from Ranger Stadium.
Go Rangers.